Hey there, tribe. Welcome back to the mat, and welcome to your full moon expand and release Vinyasa practice. Before we jump into this practice, please come join us in the online tribe. Click the link in the description below and come join us. Come share your practice, help to inspire others, and gain some inspiration from the rest of our tribe. Please also make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you like free yoga, and it helps to support me bringing you more free yoga. Alrighty, for today, our full moon practice, expanding and releasing. A couple weeks ago, we practiced our new moon practice where we set our intentions for this lunar cycle. And here at the full moon, we revisit those intentions. We revisit the projects, the goals that we set for ourselves, and we see where we are, and we harness the power of the full moon to help us continue bringing those into fruition. So for this practice, you won't necessarily need any props. If you know that you like to have blocks handy, then please have them handy. Same with any other props that you know you typically like to have. Please have those nearby, but you won't necessarily need anything in particular other than your yoga mat. So go ahead, unroll your mat, and let's get started. Okay, we're going to begin right here in a tall, comfortable seat. So find the configuration of the legs that feels most comfortable for you today, and make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. Go ahead and bring the backs of the hands onto the legs or the knees, bringing the palms to face up. So this is a gesture of receiving. So once you've found your seat, go ahead and invite the eyelids to close. We're going to take just a few moments here to dip in, to bring the attention inward, and to reconnect with our new moon intentions. So as you sit here, starting to bring a bit more depth and length to your breaths, bring back to mind your new moon seeds. What seeds did you plant at the new moon? What intentions or projects did you set for yourself? The full moon is a time to take stock of how things are going. Noticing any obstacles that might have presented themselves over the past 2 weeks. And the full moon is the time to let those things go. It's the time to take stock of what we need to let go of in order to continue making space for those things we want to invite in. So what do you need to let go of? What do you need to make space for? What is standing in the way of you achieving your goals and keeping your intentions? And the full moon is the time to release those, to expand into your potential. And take just 2 more breaths right here. And then gently flutter our eyes open. And we're going to begin with some moon salutations, Chandra Namaskar. So you're going to come to kneel towards the back of your mat. And why don't I will show you what one round of these look like. Chandra Namaskar is not practiced all too often, and it can be a little bit confusing. So if you want to take a minute, go ahead and sit on your heels. This is where we're going to begin. And you can see what this looks like. So from here, we're going to inhale, come up onto the knees, lifting the arms by the ears. And as you exhale, you'll fold forward into a child's pose. So the seat comes back to your feet, forehead down. On your inhale, you'll roll forward into a cobra pose, bringing the hips all the way down, opening the chest. And as you exhale, you'll come into downward facing dog. The inhale will bring the right foot in between the hands, opening the chest to the front of the mat. And exhale, we'll step the left foot up into a forward fold. You'll inhale to rise up to stand, lifting the arms, and exhale, hands into heart. Inhale, arms lift high. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, step right foot back, open chest to the front of the mat, and you'll exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bringing the knees onto the earth, and exhale into a child's pose. And that is what one round looks like. So we'll take maybe just 1 or 2 rounds. We'll see how we do. So meet me here sitting on the heels. So Chandra is moon in Sanskrit. So this is the moon salutation, bowing towards the moon, inviting the power of the moon in to guide us over the next couple weeks and the rest of the lunar cycle. So from here, go ahead and inhale, come up onto the knees, lifting the arms up by the ears. Exhale, fold forward, bow down, child's pose. Inhale, roll the spine out, dropping the hips forward, opening the chest, cobra pose. And exhale, come into downward facing dog. As you inhale, step a right foot between the hands, open the chest to the front of the mat. And exhale, step left foot up and fold over the legs. Inhale, rise up to stand, lifting the arms high. And exhaling, hands into heart. Inhale, lift the arms high. And exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, step right foot back, open chest to the front of the mat, left leg is forward. And exhale, plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the knees to the earth. And exhale, child's pose. Let's take one more round. So you're going to inhale, come all the way up onto the knees as you lift the arms. And exhale, bow forward, child's pose. Inhale, roll forward, coming into cobra, drop the hips, open the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. This time, step the left foot between the hands. Inhale, open chest to the front of the mat. And exhale, right foot steps forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise to stand, arms lift high. Exhale, hands into heart. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot steps back, open the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees. And exhale, child's pose. Take a breath or two here in your child's pose. And then come on up into tabletop position, hands and knees. Stacking the shoulders right above the wrists and the hips, right above the knees. Move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze and the tailbone. And exhale, round the spine, press the earth away. Inhale, arch, open the chest. And exhale, round. One more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Then from a neutral spine, go ahead and pop the hips out towards the left. And then turn to look over the left shoulder so you're opening right side of the body. And then do the opposite. Take hips and gaze over towards the right, open left side. And then switch sides and continue moving in this way, opening right and left sides of the body. And Take one more to each side. And then from here, come all the way down onto the belly. And we're going to open the hands out wide. And the fingers are tented, so you're in your cupcake hands. So imagine you've got a couple cupcakes underneath your hands and you don't want to squish them. Hands are in line with the elbows. Elbows are in line with the shoulders. You can bring the forehead to the mat, and we're going to lead with the back of the neck as we roll up into a cobra spine on your inhale. And exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll on up. The head will come up last. And exhale, roll down. One more like this. Inhale, roll up. And exhale to roll down. Now go ahead, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, palms flat. Tuck the toes under, firm up the legs so the knees should lift off the mat. The legs are super active. Pull the shoulder blades back, magnetize the elbows back towards each other, firm up the belly. We're going to press up into a plank pose. So take an inhale here. Firm everything up. Exhale, press up one straight line, plank pose. And then downward facing dog. And from here, begin to walk the feet up towards the hands. Inhale, lift halfway. Crown of the head reaches forward. And exhale, fold. Bend the knees deeply. Lift the torso, Utkatasana chair pose. So the weight is back in the heels. The pubic bone is pulling up towards the navel, so the belly is staying active. Arms are reaching up high. Take an inhale here. And exhale, Ardha Utkatasana, half chair. So the torso comes down, arms go back, stay low in the legs. Inhale, lift the torso, arms up. Exhale, fold halfway. Inhale. And exhale. Two more like this. Maybe do it on the toes. So lifting the heels, come onto the toes. Inhale. Exhale, stay on the toes as you fold halfway. One more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, this time fold all the way over the legs, bringing the arms back behind you, clasping the hands as you fold. Open up the chest and the shoulders. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees here if that feels better for you. From here, we're going to come up to stand, keeping the bind in the hands, so keep them clasped as you come all the way up to stand. Flat back brings you up. And once you get here, the fist package is going to reach for the earth beneath you as the heart reaches up towards the sky. Standing back bend. Keep the legs really active. And then releasing the arms, stand up tall. Take a breath here, close the eyes. What do you need to let go of? What do you need to invite in? Gently opening the eyes. Take an inhale, lifting the arms up high, maybe finding a gentle back bend here at the top, shine heart to the sky. And exhale as you fold over the legs. Inhale, lift halfway, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. From here, bring the right foot in between the hands. Bring the left knee onto the earth. So you're in Anjaneyasana, low lunge legs. Bring the left palm flat onto the earth and open the right arm up to the sky. Taking a twist towards the right leg. Really press the earth away so that the left shoulder comes away from the ear. So you don't want to be scrunching the shoulder way up by the ear. Press the earth away, pull the shoulder blade down the back. You can stay right here. If you'd like to invite the left quadricep into this party, reach the right arm for the back of your space, bend the left knee, bringing left foot into the right hand. If this is not available, you can also play with using a strap to reach for the foot, but this is all optional stuff, so no worries. And if you have the foot, gently, without slingshotting it, release the foot, bringing the right hand onto the earth. Tuck back toes, lift back knees, step the right foot back, plank pose. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lower halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. And the left foot will come in between the hands. Bringing the right knee onto the earth. Setting up your low lunge Anjaneyasana leg. So make sure that the left knee is right above the left ankle. Bring the right palm flat onto the earth as you open the left arm up to the sky. And if you'd like to invite the right quadricep into this party, you'll reach the left arm for the back, bend the right knee, bringing right foot into the left hand, maybe using a strap if you have one available, or like a scarf or a towel or anything in that shape. Then gently, without slingshotting the foot, release. Bring the left hand down, tuck back toes, lift back knee, step left foot back, plank pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, right foot between the hands. We're coming into warrior one, so the left heel is going to come down at a 45-degree angle. You want your hips to continue facing straight forward. When you feel steady in the legs, lift the torso. So make sure that your headlights are pointing straight towards the front of your mat. Arms will come up next to the ears. Standing nice and tall, proud warrior. From here, we're going to come into eagle wrap in the arms. So bring the arms out into a T, and you're going to cross the left arm underneath the right. And from here, you have a few options. You can either bring the hands onto the shoulders if this feels like enough sensation. You can lift the forearms, bring the backs of the hands to touch, or maybe you wrap the forearms, bringing the palms to touch. And wherever you are, try to lift the elbows up in line with the shoulders and pull the hands away from the face. Take an inhale as you lift the chest up towards the sky, find a gentle back bend. And as you exhale, fold forward. So the torso can either rest on the right thigh, or you can bring the torso to the inside of the right thigh while pulling the right hip back in space to bring it in line with the left hip. So you're in a humble warrior with an eagle wrap. From here, we're going to come into a warrior three, keeping the wrap in the arms. So lift the torso, hover it over the right leg, shift the weight forward onto the right leg as you lift left leg straight back. Toes of the left leg point down towards the earth, reach through the left heel. Really active in both legs. One more breath here. Begin to bend the right knee, step left foot back. We're coming into warrior two. So the left heel comes down, release the arms, expand into your warrior two. Heel to arch alignment, arms open, nice and wide, really strong arms. From here, lean back, peaceful warrior. And we're going to come into a half moon pose. So the right arm is going to come forward and to the earth. Bring the right hand 2 spaces in front of the right foot, 1 space out towards the right. Wiggle the left foot in until you can lift it off of the earth. Hips are open here, so you want the hips to open towards the left side of your mat. Left hand can stay on left hip. If you feel steady, you can lift left arm to the sky. Maybe you turn the gaze up toward that left hand. Feel that you are expanding in this pose in all directions, releasing all those things that do not serve you. And from here, bend the right knee deeply, step the left foot back, find your warrior two legs once again. Take an inhale here, and exhale to cartwheel the hands to the earth, step right foot back. Take a vinyasa here, or you can head straight to downward facing dog if that serves you better. And taking just a couple of breaths here in downward facing dog. And we've got all that business on the other side. So left foot comes between the hands. Right heel comes down, coming into warrior one. So hips are square to the front of your mat. Lift the torso, headlights are forward. Lift the arms high. Feel that you're really standing your ground here in this pose. Proud, strong warrior. Coming into that eagle wrap. Arms come out into a T. Wrap right arm underneath the left. Take the variation that works for you in your arms and your shoulders today. Lifting elbows in line with the shoulders, hands away from the face. Take an inhale, lean back. Exhale to fold. Again, either torso on the thigh or to the inside of the thigh. Notice that the left hip wants to pop out to the left. Pull the hip back in space. Try to bring it in line with the right hip. From here, warrior three. Lift the torso. Shift the weight forward. Lift right leg back. Really active through both legs, closing the right hip, so you probably need to lower the right hip towards the earth a little bit. The tendency is for it to want to open. Take one more breath here. We're coming into warrior two. So bend the left knee, step right foot back, and as you lower the right heel, undo the arms, expand into your warrior two. Left heel is in line with the right arch. Really strong, proud arms. Inhale, lean back, peaceful warrior. From here, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Right hand on right hip, left hand comes down. 2 spaces in front of left foot, 1 space to the left. Heel to the right foot in till you can lift it off of the earth. Expand in all directions here. So the hips are open towards the right side of your mat. Right leg is really active. Maybe the right arm extends to the sky. Maybe the gaze turns up towards the right arm. Bend the left knee deeply. Step right foot back. Find your warrior two legs. Take an inhale here. Exhale, cartwheel, hands to the earth. Step left foot back, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Whatever you need. From here, lift the right leg up and back. Bend the right knee, open the hip. So stacking the hips here. You can stay right here, or you can come with me into a wild thing. So if you're coming into wild thing, start to turn the left foot, so you're coming onto the outer edge of the left foot. Bring more of the weight onto the left hand as you lift the right hand off the earth. And you're going to slowly drop the right foot over towards the left, opening the heart up towards the sky. And then we'll come back around. So lifting the right arm up and then over, bringing it back onto the mat. Keep the right leg lifted. Bring right knee towards the left tricep. Extend the right arm out to the outside of the left hand. Come onto the inside edge of the left foot. Left arm to the sky, fall in triangle. Inhale here. Exhale, left hand onto the earth. Step the right foot back, downward facing dog. We'll try that on the other side. Left leg lifts high. Bend left knee, open the hip. You can stay right here. If you'd like to come into wild thing, start to turn onto the outer edge of the right foot, bringing the weight onto the right hand, lifting left hand up, dropping the left foot all the way over towards the right side. Bring the ball of the foot down, opening the chest. So the right leg is straight, left knee is bent. And then to come back out, bring the left hand up and over onto the earth. Left knee comes over to the right tricep, extend the left leg. Left foot outside the right hand, inside edge of the right foot, right arm to the sky, fall in triangle. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand to the earth. Step left foot back, downward facing dog. And from here, lower the knees onto the earth. And come to sit on your heels, taking a seat. Take a moment or two to connect to the breath. From here, we'll come into a camel pose. So come on up to the knees. I recommend folding your mat over to give you a little more cushion. If that's not quite enough, you can bring a blanket or a towel underneath your knees to help protect the knees, give them a bit of cushion. So we're looking for the knees to be right underneath the hip bone. So you feel for your head lights here, the knees are going to be right underneath them. And we'll come into just 2 rounds of camel pose. So go ahead and tuck the toes under and pull the pubic bone up towards the navel. So firm up the belly. And you want to make sure that the hips are staying above the knees at all times. The tendency is to want to lean back as we try to reach for feet. We want to keep the hips above the knees. So if the feet are not available to you while keeping that configuration in the legs, then don't worry about reaching for feet. The hands can stay at the low back. It is a beautiful place to work on this pose. So toes tucked under, pubic bone pulls up to navel, roll the shoulders back, bringing hands onto the low back. I like to turn my fingertips up towards the sky, but you can turn them down of whatever feels better for you, and magnetize the elbows back towards each other. From here, really focus on creating lift, so like you could reach your heart up to the sky. And you can stay right here. So what I always say is if you release a hand and you feel your feet, then feel free to release both hands onto feet and experiment with coming into a fuller expression of this pose. And if you're here and you're searching for feet and they feel too far away and you feel like you need to lean back to reach them, don't worry about it. Stay right here with the hands on the low back, reaching the heart for the sky. Go ahead and lift the torso, untuck the toes, have a seat on your heels, turn the palms to face up in your lap, and take a breath or two here. What are you releasing and what are you inviting in during this full moon? One more camel pose. Go ahead and come up onto the knees. Up to you for this round if you'd like to tuck the toes or leave the toes flat, depending on how that last one felt for you. Completely up to you. So set yourself up, pubic bone up towards the navel, firm up the belly, roll the shoulders back, magnetize the elbows back towards each other as you bring hands to the low back and reach heart for the sky. And maybe you're able to go a little bit deeper in this round, maybe not. If it feels okay, you can drop the head all the way back. And to come out of this pose, bring hands to the low back, lift the torso, bring seat onto feet, palms turn up on the thighs, and take a breath. You can begin to shift the hips side to side gently here as you neutralize the lower back. And we will counter the back bends with a seated, wide-legged forward fold. So you can extend your mat back out if you folded it and come into a seat, opening the legs wide. I like to bring one hand in front of me, one hand sort of behind, lift my seat up, kind of pop my booty back, and then sit it back down. helps to make sure I'm sitting up on sit bones and not rolling back on tailbone. If you do find that you're still rolling back on your tailbone, bring a blanket or a towel, maybe a small cushion underneath your seat to help you find lift here in the spine. The legs are going to stay active in this wide-legged forward fold. So the toes are going to be pointing straight up to the sky. As you fold, the tendency will be for the toes to kind of fall in. Really try to keep the toes pointing up to the sky. So you really kind of have to externally rotate and keep the legs super active. Take an inhale here, extending the crown of the head high towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. So you're going to lead with the chest as you fold the torso down through the center of the legs. Taking this nice and slow. I have no prizes for you if you come like all the way flat. Don't worry about it. Come to your edge. And breathe. If you would like to bring a prop underneath you here, this is a nice place to maybe bring some blocks underneath forearms. If you feel like you would like to come lower, but you're not quite there yet, bring some blocks underneath you, maybe a bolster or cushion. But it's not really necessary. You can stay up on the hands. That's totally okay. I'm really focusing on trying to keep a long spine here. So the tendency will be to round, really try to reach the chest forward in this forward fold. Two more breaths right here. Slowly begin to lift the torso back up. You can use the hands behind the knees to help the legs come together. And we will come to Shavasana. So make yourself comfortable. So coming all the way flat on your back. You can hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe take a few circles with the knees in one direction and then in the other. And if there are any final movements that your body is craving before you come into Shavasana, feel free to take whatever that is. So maybe a happy baby, maybe a supine twist. Feel free to hit pause here on the video and take whatever it is that your body needs today. And when you're ready, you'll come to lie back, extending the legs long, bringing feet as wide as your mat, bringing the arms to rest beside the body with the palms facing up. Take a big breath in through the nose, fill up the belly, take what you need. Open the mouth, release everything you don't need. Inhale. Big breath, take what you need. Open the mouth, release what does not serve. Allow the breath to flow naturally in and out of the body on its own rhythm. If you have more time to stay here in Shavasana, please stay. Otherwise, start to bring gentle movement into fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Extending the arms long overhead, taking a nice long stretch. Bringing feet flat onto your mat and rolling onto the side of your choice. And from here, using the top hand to help press you up, make your way into a comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall, turn the palms to face up. Invite in the energy and the power of the moon as you remember what it is that you are working towards. What are your goals, your projects, your intentions for this lunar cycle? What are you releasing? And what are you inviting in? And bring the palms to touch at heart center, bowing the head gently towards the hands. Thank you so much for joining me here on the mat today. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.